Hey everybody, it's Pete A. Turner, executive producer and host of your Break It Down show. I'm waiting on Todd Bensman to pop in the studio here, expecting him any moment now. And I thought I would take this opportunity between now and the time he shows up to talk a little bit about this year's Ride for the Brave. It's an annual thing we started doing a couple years ago. Scott Husing had a military friend who basically drank himself to death. And so part of his grieving, Scott's grieving, and service to that veteran's family, is he decided to ride his motorcycle across the country. And then I said, "Hey, man, if you're going to ride your motorcycle across the country, I know you're a badass and all, but I got to go with you and keep you safe and make sure that everything else that you need to do along the way gets done." And that turned into the Ride for the Brave that we do for Save the Brave. It's one of our big charity things that we do each year. So that day is coming up soon. It'll be this summer. And as someone that's been involved with all three of them now, I thought I would throw this out there to you guys. If you are interested in getting involved with the Ride for the Brave, here's basically what we do. We ride a certain distance each day. Scott is the main rider. Sometimes we have other motorcycle dudes come along, ride along, and ladies. And so we go from Temecula to Tucson, and then Tucson to El Paso to Odessa, Odessa to Dallas, Dallas to Houston. This is new this year. Houston to probably New Orleans. We're working on a place to go there. New Orleans to Montgomery, Alabama, and then Alabama to Atlanta, and then Atlanta to Charleston, South Carolina. So that's the ride. Every day we hit one of these major spots. We stop along the way for fuel and to pick up other riders and those kind of things. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's meant to be hard. It's hard. It's hot. It's rainy. It's humid. It's all these things. It's not easy riding from El Paso to Odessa. But we do it in part because we believe, at least at Save the Brave, we believe that if we work hard and we show up, we say, this is what we're doing, and we work hard at it, we're willing to make sacrifices, that you all will step up too. So there's all kinds of ways to help. Like one, you can just promote and lift up our social media messages when we put those things out during the ride. You can just contribute to Save the Brave, savethebrave.org. You can always do that and just say, hey, I support the guys on the ride. Here's $10 for gas or whatever that is. All of these things help us to go out and reach people. And I'm telling you, the second we leave, we just get hugged and loved, and people are desperate to support. We're all desperate to support on this veteran mission, trying to reduce veteran suicide and also to pick up the pieces after something happens. My brother passed in October, veteran suicide, and it's one thing to try to save these veterans, but what about my brother's family? How do they survive? How do they go on with grief and everything else? And then you go from having a primary earner in my brother's case. And when Eric left, now the family's like, well, now how are we going to make ends meet, right? And how are we going to pay for college? And how are we? Well, one of the things we do at Save the Brave is we try to help as much as we are able to lift that family up and fill in some of those gaps and connect them to other resources. So look, but Save the Brave, what we do when we ride across the country, we're going to show up. We're going to say, here we are. We're raising money. Help us help veterans want to live. That's the basic bottom line. What can you do to help? Well, do you know somebody? Do you know somebody famous who might be like, oh, you know what? One of my best friend's brothers in this band in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm going to call Pete. Whatever it is. Oh, I know a Medal of Honor recipient who lives in Dallas. I'll let him know that you guys are coming. All of these things. We get celebrity and well-known people, notable people all throughout the ride to show up and help support. We obviously need cash. If you want to send us a bunch of gas cards, hey, great, we'll take that. If you have a Sprinter van you'd like us to borrow and go sprint across the nation, hey, those are some of the things that you can do. And in general, it's really cool. It's really cool to be able to do this when you're like, I'm desperate to help with veteran suicide. I care about it. What can I do? Well, you just DM me, call me. If you don't have my number, here it is, 707-235-8124. I'm not afraid to get called to deal with charity. And you can also email me, peter@breakitdownshow.com. So the Ride for the Brave is coming. Here are the cities again: Temecula, Tucson, El Paso, Odessa, Dallas, Houston, New Orleans, Montgomery, Atlanta, Charleston, South Carolina. That is the ride. We will be doing that on July 22nd to July 30th. July 22nd to July 30th of 2022. Those are the dates. if you want to come along, if you want to ride along, like, hey, I want to ride along. I'm going to give you $200 to ride with you guys. Great. We'll do it. We'll have a great time. It ain't easy, but it is fun. That's for sure. So those are the basics on the Ride for the Brave. Let me check and see if there's a status here on Todd Bensman now that we've been talking with each other here for a few minutes. One of the best ways to support the Break It Down show, by the by, is by going to that link that's zooming across the page there, or just go to breakitdownshow.com and click on the PayPal link. That is the best, most direct way to do it. And then you can put a little subscription in there. There's a lot of people already doing this, and it's just fantastic. Their support, here's what it allows me to do. One, I had to buy a new camera because the other camera just wore out, right? So they help me pay for that. There's marketing costs that I have to do. I have to pay for my Macedonians that help run the podcast aspect of the show. All of these things cost money. My subscriptions to Video IQ, right? That's the thing I'm doing this year to help promote the YouTube side of things. It's marketing related. That's paid for by the people that support the show. So that 10 or 20 or 15 bucks, whatever it is, that subscription that you have that you've been meaning to turn off, hey, turn it off, change it into me. Support what I do. You know, I work hard. You know, I'm going to be out here doing the right things and trying to grow the show. That's one thing you can do. If that's not your thing, and that's fine. You can watch on YouTube. They pay me a little bit of money each month, not much, but a little bit, and that's growing each month. So it's a good thing. But if you watch on YouTube instead of the podcast side, hey, that's even better. And the freshest content is right here on YouTube. This is turning into a long infomercial about the Break It Down show. You could also go to here's the put the link up. Just type in, well, if you go to Bonfire and type in Break It Down Show or Break It Down Show store, or you can go to breakitdownshow.com and go to the link there to go and you can buy our shirts. I'm going to be adding some more stuff in. It's just a matter of me taking the time to develop something that doesn't suck. And so the Break It Down Show has its own store on Bonfire. You can get things there. Let me think. What else can I tell you here? If we don't get Todd here in a minute or two, I'll follow up with him and figure out what happened, and maybe we'll try to sneak a show in later today. Hey, here's a cool thing. Hopefully, if everything works out, and it's not 100%, but it looks really likely, I will have Bruce Dickinson, the lead singer from Iron Maiden, on the show sometime in the next week or three. I don't know exactly when it will be. It's up to him and his date and his schedule. He's doing some writing right now for an upcoming Iron Maiden album. And so when he's ready, I'll be ready, and I'm going to go get him. And it's possible that it doesn't work out timing-wise because, you know, he's got a lot of things going on. This is a busy, busy man. If you don't know Bruce Dickinson by some crazy thing, he is remarkable. He's a high – look, he does everything at the highest level. And so he just finished up a one-man speaking tour that he just did of the nation, and their band is coming back through in the fall, and so Iron Maiden's going to tour some music and everything else, and you know that's no small endeavor because those guys are probably one of the handful of bands that can put on a show of that scale. I mean, they really focus on that. All right, look, we are going to run out of time here. I don't think Todd is making it. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Here's what Todd Bensman does, if you guys don't know. He looks at the immigration policy of the U.S. and how it is in practice, in application. And so this is not a political thing. This is just, hey, because of the decisions we make, we have these vulnerabilities. We create these problems. Like right now, there are Ukrainians that are leaving and immigrating to the U.S. via asylum, whatever else. Great. Let's try to get these folks in. We're not prepared for it. You know, we don't ever have the capacity to deal with all the people that want to come to the U.S., and that creates problems. And there's always the threat of someone dangerous coming to the nation. So we have these populations that come, and we're desperate to have these people come and join us in our country. What an honor. What a great thing to do. We can help them. They choose us. Oh, my God, that's great. But now what? Now that you're here, what do we do to get you processed into this country? And boy, we're terrible at that. So people sit and they stay in these horrible camps that on the Mexican side of the border, and it's just terrible. And yeah, Todd talks a lot about these things. I don't see him popping in. All right, so I'm going to call it, and we'll set it up again. Hey, listen, I appreciate you checking things out. Thanks for getting the state of the show from me. I mean, this means a lot to me, and just in general, tell your friends, hey, my friend Pete has a Break It Down show thing. It's awesome. You guys should check it out. Anytime you can rep the show, shirts, man, I'll tell you what, cash is really, truly the best thing. I put that money right back to work. So if you are already contributing, thank you. Know that money is going right back. It's boomerang. It comes in, right back out the door, goes right back into the show. I will do things. I will go to any length to try to make a great show for you guys. Let me know what I can do for you. If you have an idea, if you want to come on, co-host something, do it. But first, hit that PayPal link and support the show that way. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'll work on Todd. We'll get that all figured out. Looks like I might have the rest of the day off to go and do other work. And so you all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for checking out the Break It Down Show.